Hey guys, I'm the Dragon's Beard and I'm back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today I've got a little bit of an issue here. I broke my front tooth. It's actually something that I did back when I was 13 and I flipped a bike in an accident, but it broke back off. So dentist can't get me in until 2 days from now. So I decided I want to go ahead and record the video even with my tooth being all goofed up. So here we are. This is another clan boss team. This is going to be one of them that is similar to the Turvald Double Maneater Unkillable that I did a few videos ago on the channel, but we've gotten a way for Ninja to fit into the team. So instead of Martyr, I'm going to be running Ninja in his place. So it's been really tricky with the way that his A1 works to get it tuned in this comp, just because that extra 15% turn meter gain really throws a wrench into the turn order and the speeds that are necessary. But after a lot of trial and error, I got it going in a calculator. So I'm going to show you kind of how that works, and then also explain some of the things that are very important to making the team operate properly. And then we'll take it for a run. And this is kind of on the edge of being a one-key team in a slow team like this, where he only gets a 1-to-1 ratio for Ninja. His passive does not quite scale up as fast as it would in a Bat Eater team or one of the other 2-to-1 comps, but it is still neat and it's still interesting. And considering that if somebody got really lucky with a Turvold pull and then got Ninja from the free login rewards and Kreela, who's the 5th champion in the fusion, then it's not the craziest team to put together. Yeah, you gotta have a Turvold. Yeah, you've got to have 2 Maneaters. None of those are easy pulls, but if you get all those pieces, might as well have a little bit of fun with it. So that's kind of the reason why I put this together. I'm going to hop over in the calculator, show you how that works, come back, and then show you all the champion gear, and then we will run a key and see what it finishes up at. Okay, so I'm over here in the calculator. I've got the speeds plugged in for my team already. I will get the ranges calculated, and then I'll put those in the description just to see if there's any wiggle room for certain champions. But my Maneaters run at 218 and 216, so they are running on that 5-to-4 ratio, which keeps their unkillables in sync. Their delays I'll explain here in a minute, but it changes throughout the fight. Ninja, Kreela, and Turvold are the other 3 champions. They run a lot slower. Ninja and Turvold, because they have different ways to increase their turn meter and speed, can run even slower. So Ninja at 162 will still stay 1-to-1 with the clan boss, just because of the increased turn meter on his A1. For that reason, I also think it will not work against Force, because for some reason the way they've got it coded, his turn meter gain does not always happen against Force. So I think that might cause it to come out of sync with how tight these speeds are. I've got his AI configured to where his A2 is ahead of his A3, which is kind of the way that he works on auto, but then I've forced it to follow this using the custom AI system. It lets me run shorter delays, so I think I needed a 5-turn delay if I had it flipped the other way, but only a 2-turn delay if we made his A2 the priority. For Kreela, the important part here is that I've got her A2 turned off, so I've got another set of speeds that's similar to this that work with an ally attacker, but it has to be a consistent ally attack, someone like Fahrakin the Fat or Longbeard or what have. So I've got it turned off here because the randomness of her ally attack, if she does or doesn't select Ninja, can cause the stuff to come out of whack. So she's really doing 2 things. She's bringing increased attack and increased crit rate so that we can build for a little bit lower crit rate, but then she's also just giving a little bit of damage on her own, and occasionally she might get a shield to land on Turvald and give him an extra buff for more damage on his A3. So the things like reflex gear or refresh accessories can make her damage better, as well as the team damage, just because it improves the uptime of her A3 buffs. But I don't have any of those things for her, so she's just kind of running as is. She's the weak link, I would say, for the team. If I had someone like Brackus, I would be running him in her place, just because of him doing more damage and then also bringing the increased attack there. So for Turvold, he is the slowest, 155. His delay is a little bit different than what the regular Turvold Double Maneater team would be, because in this comp, the double turns happen on the odd turns instead of on the even turns. So instead of the 4-turn delay and all that stuff starting here on turn 6, it's going to be a 5-turn delay and starting on turn 7. The way that Ninja works, it kind of just, where he misses this turn here, it makes everything push back by a turn. So from here until the end of the fight, the Maneater will be going last. And what you'll see is that we're going to start with shorter delays so that the increase or decrease speed debuffs are blocked on Spirit here for the turn 1 and turn 4. And then I will increase the delays for the rest of the fight so that way Unkillable goes up dead last in the turn order. So the way that these teams work is the Maneater goes last, and then during the following turn, everybody only goes once. For that reason, nobody can be in Relentless here, and you can't really run anything that has extra turn procs, just because that will cause the Unkillable and the block debuffs to run out early. So every odd turn from turn 7 all the way to the end will have the Maneaters going last in the turn order. So that's the way the team works. I will hop back over into the game, show you the custom AI configurations, and then we will take a hit at the clan boss and see how much we can put up. Okay, real quick before we start, I wanted to show you the builds for each of the champions. So we've got the Maneaters here, both of them in Toxic. One's at 3k attack and 245 crit damage, almost crit capped, but then Kreela is providing 30% on top of this, which is up occasionally, so that's not a problem at all. And then accuracy doesn't matter because we don't really want him to land the decreased attack. The other one is kind of the same deal, a little bit more attack here, 3400, 218 speed, this is the fast one, crit capped, and then 166 crit damage, so a little bit less there. The Maneaters both have roughly the same masteries. In fact, everybody in the team has the same masteries except for Ninja. So it's going to be standard offense tree all the way down to War Master, which is behind me there. And then for the defense tree, really you're just going down to Retribution. So those are the two important ones for the team. This is the one that doesn't have Martyr, so I wanted them to have the ability to counterattack based off of the RNG procs versus my regular team that I ran like this with Martyr. So for damage dealers, we'll do Turvald first. So he is cruel in perception, doesn't have to be, but you know, I just wanted to get as much damage as I could packed in. 6600 attack, that slow speed like I talked about. He has a guaranteed 30% crit rate because there's never a turn that he doesn't have it. So anything 70 and up here is fine. And then was going for 300 crit damage, but couldn't quite get there with the gear. Really, this is kind of overkill in accuracy. It's just with the pieces I had, that's what I had together. So anything like 230, 240, maybe 250 would be sufficient. But he's got very good uptime on his weekend anyway. So Ninja, kind of the flip side, I've got a little less accuracy on him than what I would want, but I'm saving glyphs for when I get to that mission. So we're kind of running as is. So 6400 attack here, 162 speed, taking advantage of that Kreela buff to try to build closer to 70% crit rate, and then 278 crit damage. His masteries are the ones that are different because having that counterattack RNG would cause him to get extra A1s and could cause the tune to come out of sync. So we went down to War Master the same way, but then I went ahead with support tree just to get extra chance for the extension on the decreased defense, and then also for the sniper chance for there. Plus the extra attack and stuff from lower steel doesn't hurt. So last would be Kreela. So she is 5.2 attack, 178 speed like the calc. I've got her crit capped. Again, she could go a little lower because of her self buff. And then 229 crit damage. Accuracy, we don't need her to land her stun because it doesn't work on the clan boss. So with her masteries, this is I would put her in Retribution, but this is from I think another comp that I was running. So in this case, oh yeah, this is from when I was running her with Martyr. So counterattack was built into that team. So I want to have a lower steel. I don't really know why Sniper's here because it doesn't do anything for her. But there we are. Those are the champions. And then for the setup, the AI is touchy here because of those reasons that I talked about earlier. So I've got a team pre-configured here. And here's the way that it works. So you don't really need to change the Maneaters. They work as expected. For Ninja, you want his A2 to be ahead of his A3. So that's the reason why I've got that filled in there. And then Kreela, disable her A2. Turvald does exactly what we need him to do. on auto. So really Ninja and Kreela are the ones that you've got to fool around with. Okay, so I started a test run of this, and then I realized that I could actually increase Turvold's damage by delaying his A3 by a turn in order to have him line up with when he had more buffs. So instead of having 3 buffs every time he uses A3, he's going to have 5. So this new setup is going to include that delay. So we're going to do A2s from both Maneaters here. Then after the clan boss, Kreela is going to do her A3 to get the buffs up. A1 from Ninja and Turvold, and then we're going to do an A3 from the Fast Maneater and A1. So the next turn, everybody is doing A1s except for Turvold. Turvold's going to do an A3. So here he goes with his A3. All right. Doesn't matter who gets stunned here. It's okay that this Maneater got stunned. He has an extra turn that we were saving his Unkillable, so it'll fall in sync. It doesn't matter that he lost that turn here. We're going to do A1 from Kreela, A2 from Maneater, A2 from Ninja. That Maneater just wasted his turn, and then Turvold A1. So on turn 4 here, we have A1 from Maneater, A1 from Kreela. We're going to do Unkillable block debuffs just so we block that decreased speed again, and then Ninja A3. Turn count 5. So notice how everybody's health is getting low. I gave them Life Drinker. That way they can live until everything falls into sync, because I think Ninja on this turn is going to be unprotected. We'll see here. So A1 from Turvold, A1 from Maneater, A2 from Maneater, A3 from Kreela, and then A2 from Ninja. Give him a little bit of health here. Yep, so we're all good. Here we're going to increase the cooldown. So his Unkillable is available right now. We're going to save that for 2 turns. So we're going to do an A2, Turvold A3, Maneater A1, Kreela A1, and then saving the Unkillable one more time for that Maneater. From here on out, we're going to be completely protected, so even though everybody's health is low, they won't have a chance to die. So Ninja A1 here, Maneater A1. Turvold's going to start using his double turns now, so we're going to do A2, and then this is where I did the delay. We're going to do A1, and then save Turvold's A3 for the next turn. So Kreela A1, and then Maneater Unkillable block debuffs goes up now, so it's going to be the last thing that happens every odd turn from here on out. So Maneater A2, Ninja A1, Turvold A3. Almost to auto. Maneater A2, and Kreela A1. So this is the turn where we're going to do auto, so we just need 1 extra turn delay on this Unkillable, so we're going to do an A1 instead, since that Maneater is going to go twice. And then at this point we are able to do auto, so we're going to get Ninja and everybody else to do what they need to on auto. So what should happen right before the clan boss goes, the slow Maneater will put up the Unkillable block debuffs, and there we go. So we are protected from the rest of the fight. The damage is a little slow in the beginning, so just under 1 million damage per turn, and that's because Ninja's passive hasn't ramped up yet, and then we're not getting all the counterattacks because the clan boss isn't hitting quite hard enough yet. So we are going to see that as the fight progresses, Ninja's going to stack that passive up. He's going to start hitting really, really hard, and then like the last 20 turns of the fight, we'll be running at full power. So it's going to be pretty close to a 1 key, but I don't know if we're going to have enough to get there. The first test run that I did was a 62 mil key, and that's with less buffs on Turvold. So I think with him having the extra 2 buffs each time, it's going to be pretty darn close to getting the 1 key damage. So since this is a slow fight, I'm going to let it run for a little bit and then come back towards the end, and we will see how it finishes. Alright, so here we are. It does look like with that Turvold change that we're going to do a little bit more damage than that test run I did, because we were at 62.5 on that key, and we've already passed that with a couple turns to go. So from turn count 20 or so, Ninja was fully ramped up with his passive, and he's been scaling up his damage a lot. So probably do like 20 mil, I would guess, in this key. So, all right, 65 total. Not quite 1 key, but pretty close. So let me get out of the way here. The first Maneater's at 7 mil almost, and then 7.5. So they've got that toxic. And then Ninja, yeah, 21 mil. So with higher decreased defense uptime, honestly, then he and the rest of the team would do pretty well. That's really the main shortcoming here, is that he's not super great at keeping that decreased defense up on his own in a slow team. A little bit different in a 2-to-1. But Kreela here, I kind of would like to switch, like I mentioned, her out for Fahrakin the Fat, because then you've got that consistency added to the decreased defense, and then also him doing more damage with his poisons and what have. But I don't have him to try, so that's the reason why I was running Kreela. I think it would be worth giving up increased attack in order to run him. And then Turvold, just a little bit ahead of Ninja at 21.8. So in my Martyr comp, he's doing over 35 mil because he's got 7 buffs and he's got counterattack baked in and everything like that. So that's the shortcoming here, is that we have less buffs for Turvold, and then the uptime of the decreased defense causes everybody to slip just a little bit. So that's the team, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like it's just a way that I wanted to get Ninja into this tune, just because of his turn meter making it so difficult. But finally got it working, and hopefully we'll be able to continue doing things with this and have him work in more teams that we didn't think was originally possible. That was kind of the goal here, is just to honestly see whether it was possible. I've got other teams that can do more damage, but for somebody that just happens to have Ninja and wants to use him, this is kind of a neat way to do it, aside from your Bad Eaters and the other standard teams. Alright guys, that's all for this one. I hope that by the next video I've got a chance to get my tooth fixed. But until then, I've got some things in the pipeline I'll be working on. So I want to do a Bad Eater video where I feature Ragnar Goldgleam, because he's really going to benefit from the AI changes that have happened. So I'll be working on that and hopefully get my tooth fixed in the process. Until then, please like and subscribe. I've got over 80% of you that are watching the videos that are not subscribed to the channel. So please hop on board. I'll have more content coming for you soon. It's not all going to be Clan Boss, I promise. That's mostly what I've gotten on the channel so far, but I have other things set up for the future. So until then, I've been the Dragon's Beard. Thanks for watching.